how to improve on invincibility.
Make a note of the date. Played 38, won 26, drawn 12, lost exactly none.
Why did that team that was invincible, why did it not kick on? Why did it not become a dynasty?
I want to talk about Arsenal here. I'm measuring Arsenal because I remember them as being title wins. Are we still measuring them as title wins?
I want to see a team that is connected with each other and that shines.
Well, Arsenal win the game, but not the title. Not meant to be. They fall just short. It will sting, it will hurt.
The best. You know, when you're looking at standards, these have set the standards. They are the Invincibles.
There's a cruel truth in football. The higher you climb, the further you have to fall. And in 2004, Arsenal reached a peak no other English club had ever touched. They weren't just champions, they were untouchable. 38 games, 0 defeats, the Invincibles. But perfection comes at a cost, and Arsenal would spend the next 2 decades paying for it.
Total revolution in quality of football and culture. I mean, there was a drinking culture at the club, let's be very clear about it.
It's easy to forget now, but before the Invincibles, Wenger's Arsenal were already rewriting the Premier League's rules. The double in 1998, the unbeaten home record of 1998 to 2000, the breathtaking title win in 2002. This was not a team that stumbled into history, it was forged for it. The defence was anchored by the formidable pairing of Sol Campbell and Kolo Touré. The midfield was a perfect blend of fire and silk, and up front Henry, a player who didn't just score goals, he performed them.
Someone sets the standard. This team have lifted the bar. They've raised the standards required.
The work leading up to 03-04 season was meticulous. Every signing, every tactical tweak, every burst of pace down the wing was a calculated step towards dominance. By the time the season began, Arsenal weren't just chasing the title, they were chasing immortality, and they found it. No defeats, a gold Premier League trophy, a legacy sealed forever. But here's the problem with becoming invincible. The only way forward is down. When you've achieved perfection, every step afterwards feels like failure. And Arsenal's fall didn't come in a single season. It was a slow, painful fracture. The very next year, they lost their crown to Mourinho's Chelsea. Unbeaten runs still came, but never over a whole season. And the aura, that feeling Arsenal could not be beaten, began to fade. The team that had reached footballing nirvana didn't shatter all at once. It broke apart piece by piece. One summer it was Vieira, the captain who had lifted the gold trophy. Then Ashley Cole, the homegrown fullback who'd grown into one of the best in the world. Then Henry, the symbol of Arsenal's style and swagger. Then Fabregas, then Van Persie, and so on. It became a pattern. Every time a great player emerged, Arsenal couldn't hold on to him. Some left for silverware, some for wages Arsenal couldn't match. Others simply because the club's ambitions no longer matched their own. And for the fans, it wasn't just the departures, it was the manner of them. Club legends leaving for rivals, heroes joining the very teams Arsenal were trying to beat. There were flashes of hope, cruel, taunting flashes, as if Arsenal's destiny was dangling just out of reach. The 07-08 season saw Fabregas at the height of his powers, tearing defences apart. Adebayo was scoring for fun, and the football was fearless, flowing. Until a cold afternoon at Birmingham, when Eduardo's leg shattered, and the entire team seemed to shatter with it. In 2011, a vibrant young side had a chance to end their 6-year wait for silverware by winning the Carling Cup final at Wembley. Just minutes from extra time, a harmless ball into the box. Szczęsny hesitated, Koscielny panicked, and Birmingham pounced. The trophy was gone, but what really disappeared that day was belief. Then came the season when Aaron Ramsey couldn't stop scoring, and Ozil's arrival had the Emirates buzzing again. Arsenal led for months, looking like champions in waiting, until a trip to Stamford Bridge turned into a 6-goal humiliation that stripped away every ounce of momentum. And in 2016, Leicester tore up the rulebook. Arsenal were the only team to beat them home and away. It should have been destiny. Instead, they finished 10 points adrift, staring into the void of what could have been, knowing this wasn't misfortune anymore. It was a pattern, carved deep into the club's DNA. Every time a window of opportunity opened, Arsenal stepped through, only to find the floor wasn't there. And while their rivals invested heavily, Arsenal faced the hidden cost of moving to the Emirates Stadium.
Is it? Football is finished at Highbury for all time.
Why did that team that was invincible, why did it not kick on? Why did it not become a dynasty?
I think the stadium.
After 93 years, Arsenal say farewell in the grand manner.
Highbury had been a fortress, a place where the crowd's roar could rattle an opponent's knees. The Emirates was different, vast, sleek, corporate. But in those early years, it felt like luxury without the warmth, a beautiful shell still waiting for a soul. The debt from the move forced Wenger to operate with one hand tied behind his back. Chelsea, United, and later Manchester City were spending hundreds of millions. Arsenal were bargain hunting, trying to replace world-class talent with promising potential. The magic of the Invincibles had been built on a perfect blend of talent, tactics, and timing. But football had moved on, and Arsenal, for all their ideals, couldn't keep pace. The final years of Wenger's reign were not the dignified farewell his legacy deserved. Wenger out banners, fan protests, a disconnect between the stands and the dugout. To a generation that had only known Arsenal as Invincibles, this wasn't the same club. And for younger fans, perfection was just a story their parents told. The drought became its own weight. Years turned into decades. 21 seasons without a Premier League title. And yet, there is hope. Under Arteta, Arsenal have built something that feels familiar. Not because it's identical to the Invincibles, but because it carries that same sense of belief. 3 second-place finishes in a row. A young, hungry squad. A style of play that excites and terrifies in equal measure. But there's still a gap. Not just in the league table, but in the soul of the fan base. Those who lived through the Invincible season still carry the memory like a jewel they'll never see again. Those who didn't can't quite grasp its weight. And between the two lies a disconnect. One side chasing the past, the other trying to write its own. Yes, there have been moments of joy along the way. They've won 5 FA Cups since the Invincibles, but even those felt like detours, not destinations. Because for Arsenal, the measure was always the league.
You know, when you're looking at standards, these have set the standards. They are the Invincibles.
Arsenal once became immortal. But immortality doesn't protect you from time. It only makes the fall longer, and the climb back harder. And so, for 21 years, Arsenal have been climbing. Still searching for the day when the word invincible will mean something more than just a memory. Thank you for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.